So here we are with the two fathers of the Capulets and the Montagues. They're together for the first time since the death of the children, Romeo and Juliet. Fathers, what is going through your head right now?
I can't believe this just happened. I got mad at my daughter for disobeying me. If I had just known that she had been already married to Romeo, I wouldn't have forced her hand like I did.
I'm not able to wrap my head around this. My son ended up marrying into our rival family, which led to his exile. I wish the quarrel with Tybalt would have been more diplomatic, for then we would have been able to save Romeo, Juliet, Mercutio, and Tybalt. Montague, I've also heard that your wife has died. How did she die? How are you doing with the deaths of your wife and son? To be honest, I'm broken. My wife died because my son's exile, which drove her into grief. I'm just glad she died knowing that her son was still alive, rather than her dying knowing that her son was dead. It would have been 10 times worse for her. They were just so close. We'll give you some time. Capulet, as the friar has told us, your daughter took a potion to make it seem like she was dead. So on Wednesday, you had to go through her death, and on Thursday. And to find Count Paris dead at her grave, there must be a lot of thoughts going through your head.
It has been extremely hard for me. I was just preparing for the wedding on Wednesday. I thought that Paris and Juliet would be a great couple together, but then, when I learned that the nurse had found Juliet not breathing in her bed, I thought everything was over. I canceled the wedding, and also I began funeral plans for Juliet. After, when I learned that Paris had died, I thought I must be in some kind of nightmare, because this could not all be possible. But now I feel entirely responsible for Paris' death. If I had not asked him to marry Juliet, then all this would not have happened, especially Juliet and Paris' death.
How did the deaths of your children end your family's feud? Their deaths have shown us that we shouldn't hate each other. Our children got over our family's feud, so why can't we? We found the friar in the garden picking up herbs. We decided to ask him a few questions about the deaths of Romeo and Juliet. So Friar, you've already told us what's gone on here recently, but how much of their deaths do you feel like is on your shoulders?
I take full responsibility for what happened. I definitely should have told the fathers about the marriage, but after the fight with Tybalt, there was just no easy explanation for it. I gave Juliet the potion when she came into my cell, like, begging me to help her out because she did not want to marry Paris. It's also my fault for not delivering the message to Romeo myself. I definitely should not have let Friar John deliver it. He's definitely incompetent. I think the families will end their feud maybe, but they'll definitely have a dislike toward me for a long time being.
Thank you, Friar. By the way, have you seen Friar John? We also want to ask him a few questions.
Actually, I don't know where he is right now, but last time I heard, he was over there healing because he's sick right now.
Friar John, why didn't you deliver the message?
Well, you already know that answer. I already told everyone that I got quarantined and that I couldn't enter the city that Romeo was inside. Right now, I'm really sick. Turns out I did have the illness and it's taken me a while to get better. Personally, I think that it's partly Friar Lawrence's fault. If he had told me how urgent the message was, I would have tried so much harder to get into the city that Romeo was in. Just
thank you everyone for your cooperation. That's all we have on the story of Romeo and Juliet.